acceptable to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer.
Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning.
Good morning.
A little brisk out there today. I'm loving it. You can keep all that heat. I'll stay with a nice, cool, crisp morning. So, I can only start out this gospel by saying, what nerve. What nerve James and John had. What audacity. Tell Jesus, you will do this for us. I'm going to sit at your left, and I want to sit at your right. How embarrassing for them to say these things to Jesus. This is what I want to do. Give me what I want. Give it to me now. The Zebedee brothers, I've kind of had to tailor this gospel for this group today at 8 o'clock and also for the children's service for 10 o'clock. I won't keep it all the children's. I'll try to put some adulthood in here. So it's going to be a little bit different. But the Zebedee brothers, I call them James and John, started out with this embarrassing moment, actually for all the disciples. Now up to this point, Jesus has told them 3 times already what's going to happen, that he's going to suffer. In Mark 8:31, he says, he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things, be rejected by the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. In Mark 9:30-31, they went on from there and passed through Galilee, and he did not want anyone to know, where he was teaching his disciples, saying to them, the Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him. And when he is killed, after 3 days, he will rise. And again in another third verse, Mark 10:32-34. And they were on the road going to Jerusalem, and Jesus walking ahead of them. And they were amazed, and those who followed were afraid. And taking the 12 again, he began to tell them what was going to happen to him, saying, see, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered over to the chief priests and the scribes. They will condemn him to death and deliver him over to the Gentiles. They will mock him, spit on him, flog him, and kill him. And after 3 days, he will rise. Now, after these 3 times in a very short period of time, you would think the disciples would get it. But they didn't. Now, how many times have we been told something, probably more so when we were children, over and over and over again, we just didn't get it. We just insisted it had to be our way. We didn't quite understand. I know as a youngster it probably happened to me more times than I'm going to stand here and admit to. But if my mom was here, she would probably tell you many, many times. Earlier, before this happened, the disciples argued about who was the greatest. We remember that from a couple weeks ago. Just like Muhammad Ali, I am the greatest. I'm the boxer. I'm the greatest. Peter then tells Jesus, no way are you going to be killed. That can't happen. That's not what we want. Yo, pal, we have plans for you. You can't die. Let's not go messing things up here. Now the Zebedee brothers, James and John, come along, and they take Jesus to the side and ask him, and have the nerve to ask him if they can sit on his right and sit on his left. Yo, Jesus, when you come into glory, me and my brother here, we want to be on your right and your left. That's okay, right? Everything's good with it. They want the best seats in the house. They want the top prize. Why not? They followed him all this time. When Jesus came to them, they dropped their nets, came along when Jesus told them to. They did exactly what he said. But they also made sure that while they were asking this, that the other disciples were off to a distance, because they knew that they'd be pretty angry at them for trying to one-up on them, trying to be a little better than them. Figuring that there's only so much of this greatness that's going to be passed around, so they wanted the first portion. They weren't going to divvy it up with the other 10. They were sneaking behind their backs and trying to get some of the power that they knew Jesus had. Now, we don't want to be too hard on James and John either, because as soon as the other disciples found out what they were doing, they came right along right after that too, and they wanted part of the action. They were angry. They wanted this, give me some of this, give me some of that, I want some of this, I want want some of your power. I want some of your glory. Not yet realizing, even after Jesus told them 3 times already, what was going to happen to them. They still had this idea, this concept that he was going to go to Jerusalem as this great Messiah, as this warrior that was going to save them all. They still didn't get it. They still wanted to be on his right and on his left. They still didn't grasp the full idea of what it is to have servant. They still didn't understand how powerful it is when we serve others. Jesus was trying to tell them that. Instead, they asked, what's in it for me? All along, they should have been asking, Lord, what do you want me to do? Later, when they're filled with the Holy Spirit after Pentecost, they will have that one and only goal. They will suddenly understand the power of servanthood. Servanthood is the backbone of the diaconate program. There's no doubt about that. But it also should be the goal and the backbone of every Christian. How do we feel when we do something only because you think you're going to get something out of it? I don't know about you, but I feel a little guilty whenever I do something like that. And I hope that's very, very few times that we do that. When you do something simply to be recognized, or have that feeling, it's like Muhammad Ali, that I am now the greatest. Because I did this thing over here. Ain't I good? Look at me. I did that. That's all it is. Many people who thought they were great throughout history have found themselves alone and isolated without any comfort from anyone. Because that's the path that they chose. How do you feel when you're a servant to someone, helping them, tending to them simply out of the goodness of your heart and the love for one another, not for fame or recognition, just simply out of love? How do you, I got to skip there, it's just the children's part. As parents and adults, how does it make us feel? Or how does it make you feel when you volunteer? When you volunteer at the outreach center? How you've all helped out tremendously with the blessing bags, going on visits, or simply calling up a friend, asking how are you doing, because they can't get here, because they've been sick. Helping as an usher, or an acolyte, a worship leader, Sunday school teacher, etc., etc. So many things that can be done in church. When you come to church, not simply to take, but to give back. Very important. Not simply to come to church to take, but to give back. As you've heard so many times, it's part of our baptismal covenant to do just that. I think Father Mike might have said that once or twice, I think. He's over here. Doesn't it make you feel good inside when you ask to do that? If you're not sure what you can do, then ask Jesus, Lord, what is it you want me to do? But be prepared for the answer you might get. I asked that question a few years ago, and if you had told me that I would someday be an ordained deacon, I would have laughed hysterically at you. There's no way that's going to happen. But I did listen, and I did answer that call. If you see someone in need or they're down, be that shoulder. Be the ear that they may need. Someone simply to talk to. Not to fix their problem, but to listen to them. Sometimes that's all they need. They don't want you to fix it. They just want you to listen. Let them be heard. And do it not because you want something in return. Look at me. I've helped my friend. Ain't I nice? Ain't I a good person? But you do it out of the love that's in your heart. If you see where you can help some folks, then just do it. But recognize, folks, there's a little bit of Zebedee in all of us. Okay? At one point in our life, one time or another, we've had the same thing. There's times that we think, what can I get out of this? The goal is hopefully that is very, very seldom when that happens. But remember too, that we are human. We're told to do the best we can to the best of our ability. Knowing that we are sinners, knowing that we are not perfect. Strive to be a servant to all and forget about what's in it for you and ask, Lord, what do you want me to do? The disciples still at this point didn't understand, even after being told 3 times what was truly required of them. Not what's in it for me, what glory can I get? They did not yet fully understand that they were not there to be served, but to serve. Jesus said himself, I come to be served, not to serve. Or, I do not come to be served, but to serve. Be like Jesus in all that you do, humbling yourself to others. The reward you will see will be beyond your wildest dreams. And I will tell you that is a fact. The rewards of your servanthood will be beyond your wildest of dreams. I'm not talking about materialistic things. They may come along, but there's other benefits. Truly wonderful benefits. You will know true peace. You will feel amazing power inside you, amazing strength inside you. Those around you will know it, feel it, and see the power of Christ in you.